So yesterday, was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday was Tuesday. Yikes. Ron DeSantis, Republican governor of Florida, had a news conference where he covered a wide range of topics, but he did take a minute to kind of take a stab at big tech, the big tech oligarchy, monopoly, whatever you want to call it. It's all true. So the part that I want to focus on for now is when DeSantis brought up the Hunter Biden story, which, if you're unfamiliar, Hunter Biden was involved with some pretty shady stuff. The New York Post reported on it, and everyone, Twitter, Facebook, whatever, kind of refused to let that news story proliferate on the basis that it was a hacked server or some nonsense like that. So DeSantis said the Hunter Biden story was true, which was true. Okay, we now know it was true, and the typical corporate media outlets, they just chose to ignore it. Obviously, they wanted to beat Trump. They've had a view on the election. They didn't want to give it any air. So we rely on social media to go around that, not let corporate legacy media outlets control the discourse and let us speak. So you had the New York Post to run it because big tech put their, I can't read today. And you couldn't get any traction. You couldn't get any reach on that story because big tech put their thumb on the scale. And it was right around there that DeSantis landed quite the zinger against the establishment media. And we've got the video clip for you guys.
Information. Are you kidding me? You're trying to tell me if there was hacked information that could damage me, you guys wouldn't print it? Give me a break. You can whiz on my leg, but don't tell me it's raining. You guys would print it every single day if you could. And big tech would allow it to proliferate every single day, 24/7. So it's not being done on a principled basis.
So, yeah, you can whiz on Ron DeSantis' leg, but don't tell him that it's raining.
Classic line.
Yeah.
Stolen, but fantastic.
Very well delivered. And if you have an opportunity to watch that whole conference or the news conference, it's worth watching. DeSantis really nailed it. I thought he did a great job. So it did get me thinking, watching that news conference. DeSantis was clearly channeling some Trumpism. You know, there was some definite Trump vibes with the way he was dealing with the media. And I thought he did an excellent job taking sort of the best things Trump did when it came to fighting against the mainstream media without, look, say what you will about Trump. Sometimes he went a little overboard with the way he treated the media. Most of it was well-deserved by the media, but Trump has no problem pushing the envelope. Ron DeSantis was a little more reined in. I thought he did an excellent job, which made me think. Right now, it is, February 3rd? Mm-hmm. February 3rd, 2021. We have a little less than 3 years over 3 years, until we hit the 2024 election. That being the case, it is obviously, to put a caveat on all this, very, very early talking about 2024. But I do think Ron DeSantis has emerged as a legitimate candidate for a GOP candidate to run against Joe Biden, or if he doesn't run for a second term, whoever the Democratic nomination might be. So, Andrew, I'll kick this over to you. DeSantis 2024, any thoughts? And if not him, who do you think might run?
No, I think he is absolutely somebody that we should be keeping track of and that we should be watching, that the American people at home should be watching as often as possible. He's definitely a contender. I think people have had some up and down views of how he's handled the pandemic, but that's largely a result of the media who, as he said, have given him the worst shake ever compared to people like Newsom in California and Cuomo in New York, who absolutely botched this thing and have been hailed as heroes.
Yep.
And so I would absolutely say that he's someone who, he doesn't fit in a box. He's not. He definitely sounded a little bit Trumpian there, but he is not someone who has kissed the ring for anyone, whether it's the far left, who has wanted to hold him accountable for who knows what, who knows when, and he has not kissed the ring for the different factions in the Republican Party. He's very unique, and he's definitely a strong contender.
Yeah. Deborah,
Yeah.
what about you?
Yeah, I would agree. I remember we ran a story on him. I think it was a few weeks ago. He had a run-in with a CNN reporter, I believe, who just asked him about his about his COVID vaccine rollout process.
I remember that.
Yeah, and he basically was like, "Look, I did my job perfectly well. The healthcare providers are doing their jobs. I don't know what you want from me." And they were trying to throw it in his face and be like, "Oh, he talked bad about us," but he was really just giving it to him like it was. And so I agree. I think he would be a great contender. I could also see a lot of people giving their support for either Josh Hawley or Ted Cruz. I think that they've both turned out to be pretty big voices this year.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of people would stand behind them.
Yeah.